Steve, I just thought you'd appreciate this. There's one iPad. There's another iPad being watched right here. Lori's got an iPad. Robert Elswit's got an iPad. Tom Peitzman iPad. Andre. And I have one. Happy?
When we were selling Star Trek in 2009, we were fortunate enough to go to a whole bunch of different countries. So we had one night in Dubai. Neither JJ nor myself had been there before. And when we arrived, it was unbelievable. It had rose out of the desert, this amazing metropolis. JJ just kept saying over and over, we have to make a movie here. We have to come back here and make a movie.
I wouldn't be surprised if the lens starts fogging up. It's very humid and hot here.
Dubai.
So immediately when Tom said, let's produce this, we started talking about locations. And coincidentally, he brought up the idea of shooting in Dubai, which was a place he had been fascinated by, particularly the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world. To say that Tom was a producer with a capital P on this movie is an understatement. I mean, just the idea of going to Dubai and shooting on the building was something that we thought we'd have to recreate the building and do it a more traditional way. And it was Tom who said, no, I'm going to go out there. We'll find a way to be able to make it happen. And he really led the charge.
Dubai would like to become a film center. And we explained, you guys want something fantastic. We have it. We are going to put Ethan Hunt 144 floors outside the building, and we're going to do one of the greatest stunt sequences ever. They just opened up the doors to the city and said, go and shoot whatever you want to shoot.
Tom was practicing sliding around and climbing back and forth. He was around the middle of the Burj, but still, you're looking down on certainly everything in Dubai. Where he was poking around was taller than the Empire State Building. They have some unfinished floors in the Burj, and that was actually perfect for us because we could put our equipment there and all that stuff. And we were just kind of on one of those empty floors. So he's poking around out there, and we kind of forget that he's out there. And the sun was going down. All of a sudden, we hear this, woo, this voice outside the building, and then you see a body like going, wow. And it practically gave us all heart attacks. Now I'm in the Armani Hotel, which is in the Burj. Here's my little holding area where I'm eating a little something. And the big feature that they have is lots of hidden stuff in the walls. Where's the bedroom? It's actually in here. So where's the TV? Oh, it's behind this wall. So basically, we have an overall design philosophy here is hide things.
The Burj is really interesting. I didn't realize what impact we would have to the building. We would have to drill into the ground, we'd have to drill into the ceilings, and we had to get permission for every hole that we drilled. And we had to start taking windows out. And these are windows that had never been taken out and aren't meant to come out.
Which windows are taken out?
Taking out the big ones.
What floor?
We got on 126.
At first, there was a big resistance about taking them out, and we said, look, if windows can go in, they can come out. If we can't do that, then we can't do the sequence. So there were conversations that took place about that, and everyone found a way to do it. Not only did we have to take a window out to get Tom access, we had to take a window out for the camera. And then we had to take a window out for the special effects guys. Then we had to take a window out for the stunt guys for doing the wires. So all of a sudden, we started out like, we'll take 3 or 4 windows out, and by the time we were done, I think we took 26 windows out. And once we had windows out, we had a lot of people working around it, and safety became a huge issue. So we had to create these red boxes that were taped out, and anybody who stepped inside of that tape had to have a harness and had to be tied off.
Just notice we're all wearing vests and harnesses because this window is open. At the 130 to Scotty. Say hello, Scotty.
Hey, Scotty.
You're Scotty.
I'm Scotty. Okay.
Good, it's hard to find. But anyway, to cross here, you have to hook into one of these yo-yos, which if you'll notice, if I pull quickly on it, it stops. So you have to be hooked in a harness and on one of these to go out there and work. This is BSTV, by the way, behind the scenes. What did you think I meant?
Hey Chris, Beck, just know this has to be checked after. We have a little run in my stocking on my arm here.
Okay, you want to switch it out?
No, it's good for this shot. Just for close-ups later.
The Burge was actually a lot of fun to work on because the building has unlimited pick points. Once we got permission to use them, we could pretty much go anywhere and make anything happen.
Okay, he's stepping up. Everyone can step out. Stepping out, guys.
It wasn't really a question of safety and taking chances to us, which I think was one of the biggest problems in the beginning, is everybody looked at us, but we're going to be 2,000 feet in the air, and to us it's like being 2,000 feet, 5,000 feet, or 50 feet in the air, it's all the same. The end result is the same. If something happens, you're dead. There's no difference. You just have more time to think about it.
I was a professional climber for about 30 years. My job was to make Tom act and look like a real climber, which he's doing a really good job at.
Okay, Tom, we're ready to go.
Okay, let's do it. I'm ready.
Stand by. Okay, we're set.
He listens well and understands everything. That's very impressive, actually, for an actor to do this.
Camera's just pulling out.
Okay.
I don't know if there's an actor out there that can even hold his lunch bucket as far as nerves.
Even before getting to Dubai, I had them build the glass wall for me. And we'd throw hot lights on it to bring the glass and the metal up to the temperature that it would be. And it was also physically getting training in the harness. And I would do speed climbs where for 30 minutes I would just climb up and down, so that I was ready when the camera was ready and that no one would be waiting for me.
So if you put your right arm when you're looking, yep, and then as soon as you pull that left one, I drop you.
Climbing the Burj, it's not just a stunt, it's a character and you've got to perform.
Here we go. Greg, you want to call it? What, please?
There's a lot of things to think about.
3, 2, 1.
I'm fortunate that I get to do exactly what my dream was, is to make movies.
Trip.
And I get the opportunity to climb the tallest building in the world. But when I climb to the very top of the Burj, there's a great sense of beauty to look out upon the desert.
We were putting our star way, way, way up in the air and doing stunts. I don't think we would have been able to prepare that if we hadn't had, Greg Smers and his team, because they're just really good. We've done the number of stunts a normal action movie has already, and we're only about 40% done with our movie. We got some great, amazing shots, and the first night I was sleeping and it was like 4 a.m. Suddenly my eyes just snapped open and I realized the star of our movie is like swinging around on the outside of the tallest building in the world, held on by like a tiny wire. And I just kind of went, "Ah!"
This is a building that's still in construction, so a lot of the floors we were shooting at had to be brought up to a certain code of ours to be able to shoot on.
Okay, here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
To get elevators to reach some of the floors, to have power on some of the floors. We had to meet with the board of directors, had to meet with the engineers to assure them we weren't going to endanger anybody. We weren't going to destroy their building.
Going back up, get ready to go again.
So we had to make them comfortable with us, and I think we did that.
I think we got it. Want to do another one for the heck of it?
Resetting.
Okay, we'll do one more just while we're here. I was so focused on doing what my part of it was, as I think everybody was, that you kind of force this calmness on yourself.
All right, Andy, are we ready to go? Your camera is ready.
The Burj, it was very complicated.
Radio check, I got you, Greg, thank you.
You're not only talking to the stunt guy's talking to Tom, I'm talking to the helicopter pilots. Tom's in these harnesses that are uncomfortable. There's all these limitations. The helicopters can only stay in the air about half an hour. The IMAX cameras can't shoot long. They burn through a lot of film really fast. If you have to reload the camera, they have to take it back to the helicopter base. Everybody's trying to line this stuff up, and poor Tom is on the outside of this tallest building in the world, hanging on, waiting for everything to get in position.
Do you want me to jump further and longer so that it can pan around?
The only thing is it looked like your feet were skittering a little bit right before the jump.
Okay, Greg, did you copy that? Copy that. Yeah, I just got to get a couple more, little Bambi leaps in there beforehand.
Greg, they said they're having
a little more Bambi, a little more,
Peter Pan?
I had to figure out how do I fly off that building, and you have to figure it out very quickly because you can't stay up in that building in the gear that I was wearing for very long because you're being cut off in two main arteries across your harness and your legs are numb.
Okay, let's go to 1. So when you're set, Tom, we'll go. I'm set. All right, we're set.
I had to do it very quickly. I had to go, I just decide, I just had to get it. You had to get it, you had to get it, you had to get it.
Action!
How was that? Oh, that was fun.
I'm not fully afraid of heights, but I certainly have a healthy fear of them. It was exciting, it was dangerous and exciting, and it was fun to sort of embrace that moment.
And action!
Action on the camera.
I started way back, away from the window, and by the time we got to like the third or fourth take, my head was out the window.
All the years that I have been doing stunts and making movies, it took all of that knowledge to be able to accomplish not just what I did, I think what we all did with the Burj. From Greg, what he did, the design on how we could do that.
We're rolling.
Elswit with the camera.
Wind up, we're rolling.
Bird coming in and creating this sequence.
Action!
Swing! Days. Up. Cut. Let's do it one more time.
Heights, to me, I think are more terrifying than running the second floor, third floor, because it feels like, oh yeah, I could probably break my leg. But when you're that high in the air, you're like in a plane. I figured if I fell out, I can call a few people on the way down and say, hey man, I'm gonna be dead in a few minutes, but like, what are you doing? It's a long way down.
Did you sleep last night?
Yeah, I usually sleep till about 3 a.m. I sleep from 11 to 3, and that's when I wake up to my 65 emails. We're shooting 65mm 15 perf, which is about that big each frame.
Action!
Exposed negative, until it's developed, isn't anything. It's just a chemical reaction. If it gets opened or x-rayed at any point, it's gone.
What this is the first chance to see whether the whole week we spent shooting Tom Cruise hanging from a building, if it's going to play well on screen, if it's worth the time and money and hassle and everything that everyone goes through to get it done.
It's fantastic. I mean, there were audible gasps in some shots, and this is when they're just in their roughest state, so it was pretty great. The reflections in the glass have moving things in them, like cars and stuff like that, and then they're actually reacting to the pressure of Tom's hands. And it's the kind of detail that you would never think to get in effects, and if you did do it, it would be tremendously expensive.
The whole process of 65 film and shooting IMAX in large format is there's pretty much one place that develops it, and that's in Los Angeles. So we would shoot on Monday in Dubai. We'd wrap the film on Monday night, can it up, put it on a flight Tuesday morning. It'd get to LA on Wednesday, and on Thursday we would have a neg check. So there'd be about a 4-day lag, the moment you shot your film to the moment that you knew your footage was okay.
When you're inside the Burj and he steps out, you forget how high up you are. It was only when I went to dailies and I realized what I was watching was when I got like nauseous. I said, this is insane.
It was strange because a couple years earlier, driving through Dubai, discussing with Brian Burke the theory of doing a movie there, and then sitting on the set of Super 8 watching dailies in between takes of Tom Cruise risking his life to do something for a film, for his art. It was amazing to watch. Part of it was that Tom was outside doing death-defying stunts.
The countdown is not helping.
But at the same time, just the shots alone were kind of beautiful.